Hello, today is 5/20 of 25 and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. It is currently 10 a.m., so I have been fasting for 18 hours and I am ready for my first meal. I really feel like some oatmeal this morning, so that's what I'm going to have. I have about 3/4 of a cup of coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk, in my bowl here. And then I'm going to add to it a packet of Keto Chow maple waffle, which to me kind of tastes a little more like caramel, but it's good. I like it. I like it in my oatmeal. Those are kind of the two flavors that I like in my oatmeal is the apple cinnamon and then the maple waffle. So I'm going to get that in there for my protein. I used the coconut milk because it has fewer carbs. And then my original recipe calls for a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, but because I'm using maple waffle, I'm going to use a half teaspoon of maple extract. So I will leave a link to the original recipe for this in the description below. I often tweak it to kind of just like fit my tastes and kind of what I feel like for the day. And then for my sweetener, I would usually use a tablespoon of granulated sweetener, but because I'm doing like this maple waffle, is really, I'm looking for like maple brown sugar. I'm going to use my brown sweetener. And then now for everything else that kind of makes it more of an oatmeal. So I would normally use just coconut flakes, but I accidentally bought some shredded coconut and I don't want it just to go to waste. So what I've been doing is adding 2 tablespoons of the shredded coconut and then 2 tablespoons of the coconut flakes so that I can kind of use it up, but I still get that texture that I like from the coconut flakes. And it looks like I only have about one more serving left of the shredded coconut. So that's good. Okay. And then I need some hemp hearts. I need 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts. And my original recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, but I find that I like flaxseed better. So that's what I have here. And again, I'm just going to use 3 tablespoons of this. And then for my last ingredient, I'm going to add some oat fiber. So this is like the whole of the seed, so it's pure fiber. That's not why I add it. I mean, I do like that it's more fiber, but I get plenty from my seeds. I add it because, and it's 1 tablespoon, because it gives it more of like an oat flavor. So, you know, it kind of like feels a little more like an oatmeal. All right, so I will just get these mixed together and heat it up in my microwave. And then I'm also going to have my coffee, which I will make with 1 cup of Fairlife whole milk and 2 shots of espresso. It is just about 1 o'clock and I am ready for my second meal of the day. So I have a burger patty here. Um, we got these the other day and grilled them up and I had an extra one. So I'm just going to cook it in my air fryer. And then I have seasoned it with this signature seasoning Beyond Omaha seasoning mix, which has no carbs. Now it does have sugar in it, so it's got less than 1 gram of carb in a 1/4 teaspoon, which is probably about what I have on my burger. I did add a little bit more than I did last time. Just because like I liked the flavor. It's a little spicy, so I don't want to add too much, but it definitely needed a little more than I put on last time. And then I've got some Gouda cheese. I'm going to add a slice to the top and an Okios 000 blueberry yogurt. It is 3:15. I did my cycle training, so I rode my bike for 45 minutes. So I'm super excited about that. And I noticed that like when I got off the bike, my legs weren't as sore. Like a lot of times when I get off, it's like I can barely walk. Um, it was still painful, but not as much. So that's also super exciting. So it's a little early. I actually didn't end up eating my last meal until 1:45. Right after I like recorded that, I had to leave all of the sudden, and so I didn't get to eat until about 1:45. It is now 3:15, so it's only been an hour and a half. But I have to leave in 30 minutes, and then I will be gone until about 7:30 at night, and I don't want to be eating that late. So I have 2 slices of bacon that I keep in my fridge. I just warm it back up in the microwave. And then I have 4 raw ounces of chicken breast, which is, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 4 cooked ounces, which is the equivalent of 6 raw ounces of chicken breast that I had sous vide. And then about a half cup of chopped romaine lettuce and a couple tablespoons of Italian seasoning. I would have added some shredded cheddar to that salad, but I don't have any. And then I've got my electrolyte drink, and I'm going to drink a sparkling ice water. I have not gone to the gym yet today. I intended to this afternoon. It didn't happen. Today will also not be a refeed day, hopefully tomorrow, because I do plan to go to the gym after I get home at 7:30. Then I'll go to the gym. So because I don't want to be eating that late, I'm not going to have, I'm not going to refeed today, but hopefully tomorrow. With my dinner, I also had a chef's cut beef stick. I actually had it sitting on my counter to show you when I was telling you what I was going to have for dinner, and I forgot to show you. So I ended up with not quite 1,800 calories today. My protein is 160, my net carbs are 26, and my fat is 103. So it is currently 8 p.m., and I am in a caloric deficit of about 500 calories. I will burn some more calories tonight, but I shouldn't get to like that $900,000 or $1,000. That'd be great. $1,000. 900 to 1,000 calories deficit. So that's good. I can work with that. So I just wanted to show you the spreadsheet that I made to keep track of my calories. That was really kind of a big concern for me, and I didn't really know how many calories I was burning, and so I didn't know if I was eating enough. I was worried about breaking down my body. Now I have a watch that tells me how many calories I burn, which isn't perfectly accurate, but at least it gets me close enough. In testing, this watch usually will underestimate your calories by 1 to 200 calories. So I just add an additional 100 calories to like what it's saying. I don't go with 200, I just go with 100. And like, I think that that's a safe number to kind of use as the number of calories that I am burning in a day. And then I just kind of have been graphing it in, well, not graphing it, but keeping track of it in just a spreadsheet to kind of make sure how I'm doing. What I have here is the last 2 weeks, so it doesn't include this week's information just because it's only Tuesday, but the last 2 weeks information, and it's looking pretty good. Like the couple of weeks before that, I was in too much of a caloric deficit. But I'm starting to kind of get it figured out and make sure that I'm, staying within like the 5 to 600 calorie range for like a daily average is what I'm looking for. So I'm super excited about that. I'm just going to kind of keep working on it and make sure that I can kind of like I want to get to the point where I don't feel like I need to put everything into the tracking system. I know that people enjoy having it. They like to see, okay, yeah, but how did your day actually turn out? But I want to get to the point where I feel confident enough in what I'm eating that I don't feel like I need to put into a tracking system so that I can like make sure that I'm, doing what I intend to be doing. I want to get to the point where I just kind of naturally will do what I intend to be doing. So I had a pretty great day today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.